So,
Four of these, it's still in use.
do you need one more?
No, I got four.
You got 4. If you want an extra, I think 5, then you might want an extra. But so this is the foundation. Some people like to cut a 1/4 inch out because you'll need a seam allowance. Okay, so when we trim at the end, don't trim right on that line. You're going to trim a 1/4 inch out. So you may want to add that before you even begin.
Do
But
you
we're-
need that 1/4 inch on the lines that are on the inside too?
Yes, so
Okay.
this is where don't get confused, okay? Because as we go down, we'll have that 1/4 inch there, but we're gonna cut down this line before we start sewing. And then we're gonna combine those 2 pieces. But we can't put that 1/4 inch on yet. So when you're trimming it, so we'll get to that in a minute. Even when I was trimming, I'm like, okay, am I doing this right? Because after all that work, you don't wanna like go, ugh, I don't have a seam allowance. So, first thing I like to do is cut my pieces. And a lot of people with paper piecing just take their chunk of fabric and use whatever, but I like to cut it a little closer to what it's going to be, because I just get confused. So, if you have a 5th paper, you can cut this out. So the more triangle piece is your background fabric. And did I put that in there? I'm not, it might be on the 1st page.
Yeah.
Is your background fabric.
3 triangles.
Okay, and honestly, if you want to cut just kind of a strip that's that wide and then just go like this and trim, it's a lot easier. Does that make sense? Instead of trying to cut these little triangles, just cut one this way, cut one this way,
Oh,
cut.
yeah.
Does that make sense? That was a lot easier. And double it, and then it goes a lot faster. You want all sides to be 3/8 inch bigger than your piece. You're going to need a 1/4 inch, but I like to have wiggle room. So, I don't have a ruler up here. But just as you go around and cut all these little pieces, and it's not that big of a deal, but just make sure you're going like 3/8, cutting 3/8 all around each side. And then your print fabrics will be out of this kite shaped one. Okay, and then kind of just decide beforehand. Now, you're going to sew on the line, but your fabric's going to be behind the paper. So just think opposite. So when we normally sew, it's right sides together. Here it's wrong sides together. So the back side of the paper and the wrong side of the fabric. So if you can remember just like the opposite, okay? And then I like to just hold it up to the light and do like 1/4 inch past, just eyeball it right here, straight. Does that make sense? And then I'm gonna add my other piece. So if you want to, like this one, I just put a little glue, like just a little glue stick, just poke the paper, then it will hold, or pin it, or if you just wanna hold it, you can do that. And then you're gonna line up the next piece right along that edge, okay? And you're gonna flip it and sew right along there. I like to start in here a little bit and then go past, because this is gonna be in our seam allowance here, so I like to sew right off so that seam is all the way. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay. So this one, it's gonna be even, so I can go and go to my iron and just press it back like that. Okay? But for the next one, you can see that it's kind of a wide, it would be a wide seam right there. So I'm gonna get just like a, I don't know, this came out of something, a magazine or something, or just like a little piece of cardstock. And I'm gonna put that right on the line, okay? And fold it back like that on the line, okay? Then I'm gonna trim that fabric. You can just use your regular measuring tool, or this one's an add a quarter ruler. And if you can see, it has a little lip, and it can just snug right up against there, and you can trim. So it makes it really quick. You don't have to go line up the things. You can just slide it up against there and trim that off. Does that make sense?
What did you call that ruler?
It's add a, here's the packaging, add a quarter.
Okay, yeah, I have that.
Do you have that?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, you can just use a regular ruler, but this is, I mean, it's just quick to be able to just snug that right up there and just go. Okay, so that will be cut off. So pretend, well, I will cut that,
Now, why did we do that fold?
so that we can cut that.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
And so then the next one, when we add it on, it's right, we can just have our little quarter inch, we can just know right exactly where to put it. So, where did I put my ruler? Oh, there we go. So I'll just, trim it off. Okay, and I'll be a little bit like that. And then I'm gonna add my next color, so say my next color is this black. I'll line it up like that. And sometimes you kinda wanna make sure it's gonna cover where you need to cover, right? So, now I can just line it up along that line, and then sew right on the stitching line again, okay? And then press it back, it will look like that. Then I'm gonna go back again, fold it back, and trim. And then it'll be just the last one. So, where's my, so background. Then I'll just add the last background piece. So, and then flip it like that. Okay, so then you'll have all your pieces. Then you can go, so it'll look something like crazy like this. So, that one's not a good one to show on because I changed my mind halfway through. Well, here I started cutting on the line, but I'm gonna need that quarter inch. So either make that ahead of time or just do them all at the end. Because right here, you're gonna have to remember you need that quarter inch. So whatever is easiest for you to remember, like, or should I just cut it right on the line and then I just know I have to add a quarter inch everywhere? Or do I do that and then just remember that center seam? Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? That, so you need a quarter inch around, that's the tricky part. And then, so see, I've added it here and then here's my quarter inch here. So you'll have two of those that you're going to put together.
So why did you tell us to make it 3/8 inch wide?
Because we just need a little wiggle room. If we just did it a quarter inch, just the way you put it on, sometimes you just lose a little bit. And you saw I just trimmed off what? Just a little bit. Paper piecing is a little wasteful. It's
Yeah,
not,
I've noticed.
it is. And then you're going to put these together, okay? I like to just kind of put my pin where all those little, oh, that's landed straight up. Right where all those intersect, right? I can get it in. And then put it down right there where they all intersect. And then that's pretty good to finding center. I mean, yeah, sometimes you have to have a pick to get it centered. And then, you know you're pretty good if you've got that little dog ear, and then you'll sew that quarter inch all the way across, okay? And then when you open it up, you'll have your one square like this.
So how do you take off your paper?
And we
So-
make a shorter stitch length?
Shorter, yes, thank you for reminding me. Shorter stitch length helps. And then, and I'm just